If you are looking for fun things to do while stoned, let's chill out on the couch and watch a funny movie or TV show. Being super high and laughing your ass off is one of the best feelings. Many will argue that any movie gets better when you're a little high, but some films have a reputation for being better than others to watch enhanced. Whether it makes you laugh harder, think deeper, or reflect more deeply on the realities of our world, these movies are a cut above the rest and are the best films to watch stoned. Welcome to DLP Movie, and let's count down our top 10 best movies to watch when you're high. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. An adaptation of Hunter S. Thompson's novel of the same name, the film details a wacky search for the American dream by Thompson and his crazed Samoan lawyer, fueled by the massive amount of drugs they purchased with an advance from a magazine to cover a sporting event in Vegas. They set out in the Red Shark, encountering police, reporters, gamblers, racers, and hitchhikers. They search for some undefinable thing, known only as the American dream, and find fear, loathing, and hilarious adventures into the dementia of the modern American West.
Strange memories on this nervous night in Las Vegas. Has it been 5 years? 6? It seems like a lifetime. The kind of peak.
A surrealist portrait, characters lost and visually innovative, a ride to a psychedelic, colorful and Las Vegas from Hunter S. Thompson. Super Troopers. Thorny, Mac, Rabbit, Foster and Farvo are Vermont state troopers out to have a good time, stationed in a remote area near the Canadian border. The troopers, avid pranksters with an affinity for syrup, have a knack for screwing up on the job. But when budget cuts in the town of Spurberry threaten their livelihood and pit them against arch rival Spurberry PD, the five friends try to straighten up and fly right.
Yeah, double bacon cheeseburger?
Double bacon cheeseburger, it's for a cop.
What the hell's that all about? You gonna spit in it now?
No, I was just telling him that so he makes it good. Don't spit in that cop's burger.
Made me laugh out loud.
That is, until a dead body is discovered and a possible drug ring is unearthed. The Super Troopers spring into action attempting to solve the crime, save their jobs, and outdo the local police department. Super Troopers combine solid physical comedy with surprisingly solid comedy writing. It's by no means a classic, but it is very worth sitting around with some friends, smacking a few beers and checking out this flick. The Big Lebowski. Jeffrey the Dude Lebowski is the ultimate LA slacker, until one day his house is broken into and his rug is peed on by two angry gangsters, who have mistaken him for Jeffrey Lebowski, the LA millionaire, whose wife owes some bad people some big money. The dude becomes entangled in the plot when he goes to visit the real Lebowski in order to get some retribution for his soiled rug, and is recruited to be the liaison between Lebowski and the captors of his now kidnapped wife.
I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude. So that's what you call me, you know? That or his dudeness or...
The Big Lebowski is about an attitude, not a story. It's easy to miss that, because this story is so urgently pursued. It involves kidnapping, ransom money, a porno king, a reclusive millionaire, a runaway girl, the Malibu police, a woman who paints, while nude and strapped to an overhead harness, and the last act of the disagreement between Vietnam veterans and flower power. It has more scenes about bowling than anything else. Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction skillfully blends the stories of Jules and Vincent, a pair of wisecracking it men, and their stash of unidentified merchandise. Marcellus Wallace, the criminal kingpin they work for, his coke-snorting wife Mia, scheming prizefighter Butch Coolidge who double-crosses him, and a pair of small-time hold-up artists. As you can probably tell, there is enough material here to make 3 films, but Tarantino's brilliantly economical script, hard, boils the constituent elements into a brilliant homage to exploitation flicks through the decades.
Marvin, what do you make of all this?
Man, I don't even have an opinion.
Well, you gotta have an opinion. I mean, do you think that God came down from heaven and stopped? Oh, fuck!
The disjointed timeline works magnificently, and the film constantly surprises on first viewing and consistently entertains thereafter. Many speak of memorable scenes and memorable lines from certain films, but every scene, every character and nearly every line in this film has become iconic. It boasts an unequaled ensemble cast of the coolest of the cool actors, a similarly iconic soundtrack, and it captured the imagination of an entire generation. Friday. Having just been canned from his job on his day off, Craig and his best friend Smokey spend the day smoking up in their South Central neighborhood while dealing with a neighborhood bully, relationship troubles, an angry drug dealer, and a lot of other odd characters. This is probably one of the best modern comedies. Chris Tucker is great as Smokey, and Ice Cube is great as Craig. The movie starts off perfectly and ends the same way. The situations this odd couple is forced into are interesting and very funny.
Hey man, you straight? Hell nah, I ain't straight. Look at my eyes, they still red? Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
The rewatch value for Friday is tremendous and the characters are beautifully developed. There are some true memorable moments in Friday, and even more memorable characters. This is just a fun movie from start to finish and never tries to be perfect. Dazed and confused.
Perfect female body. But... What? I can't say.
Come on, man. You can't give a build-up like that, you know, not...
About 20 years after its initial release, Richard Linklater's Dazed and Confused still has the ability to transfix audiences. Maybe that's because it's so immensely quotable. In a small Texas enclave, highlights the rites of passage on the last day of school in 1976 for the new, incoming freshmen at the hands of the class of 77 at Robert E. Lee High School. Freshman boys are physically punished, while the girls largely face the brunt of verbal abuse and humiliation. Two main figures emerge. Incoming freshman Mitch Kramer comes to a new realization in his role as a major target of senior hazing, and, among the seniors is Randall Pink Floyd, the school star quarterback, who moves with facile grace among groups of greasers, nerds, stoners, and athletes alike. A classic comedy, a classic school flick, and most assuredly a classic stoner movie. The last day of school in 1976 means hazing, hot young chicks, beer drinking, and lots of weed smoking. Sometimes we forget we ever graduated. Up in Smoke. Cheech and Chong meet up by chance. They go in search of some dope and are accidentally deported to Mexico, where in their desperation to get home they agree to drive a van back to the States so they can get back in time for a gig they are due to play. Unaware of the properties from which the van is constructed, they make their way back, having acquired a couple of female hitchhikers, whilst all the time avoiding the cops whom they are not even aware are following them.
Hijo de la chingada. Is that a joint, man? That goddamn looks like a quarter pounder, man.
Cheech and Chong's classic first movie about a couple of tokers and their misadventures with cops and dog turds is like a big bowl of weed that's stem-free and bottomless. If you think about it, Up in Smoke is the stoner comedy that every subsequent stoner comedy has tried to emulate, or at least taken heavy inspiration from. Though, thinking about shit is pointless when you're lifted like a dumbbell. Half-Baked. After Kenny accidentally kills a cop's diabetic horse by feeding it the food he purchased from a Munchie Run, he is put in jail and is given a $1 million bail. The rest of the group must bail Kenny out before Nasty Meat gets to him. The group decides to sell marijuana that Thurgood gets through his job as a janitor at a pharmaceutical lab.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not gonna do what everyone thinks I'm gonna do.
They become pals with rap star Sir Smoke a Lot and the rivals of dealer Samson Simpson. On the side, Thurgood seeks the love of Mary Jane, an anti-pot daughter of a dealer. What follows is typical pothead behavior with a ton of cameos. Look carefully, a certified classic, in which Dave Chappelle and his motley crew start pumping that diesel to spring their buddy out of jail. We challenge you, nay, defy you, to not laugh at DC. Playing Sir Smoke a Lot, which is exactly why he turned his back on $50 million. UK Beast who enjoys seeing a black man play the buffoon. Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. Trying to figure out your career isn't easy, especially if weed gets in the way. While the post-collegiate, lovable duo of Harold and Kumar contemplate a career in medicine, they take a break one night to smoke as much weed as possible and venture out to a late-night fast food chain to satiate their hunger. As any good New Jerseyan knows, this is incredibly close to the truth. However, along the way, they become terribly lost, crash their car, and are saved by a disfigured tow truck driver named Freak Show, who also propositions them for sex.
So taco shits. Oh, God. Ooh. Oh, great. I think I've got to go too.
The adventure continues as they blaze a joint with a cheetah, pick up an ecstasy-filled, grinning Neil Patrick Harris, and eventually revel in the gluttony of White Castle sliders, while reviving NPH's stagnant career along the way. This started the epic franchise, clearly reverberating with viewers who will do just about anything to indulge their munchies. It also became the genre's archetype for stoner body films made over the past 10 years. Pineapple Express.
No! Liar! What are you doing, man? He's a liar. He's lying to us, man. He is lying to us. Phone. No, he's not. He knows my name. He knows my name. He's acting weird. We can't let him phone anyone, man. No, you're freaking out, man. You're paranoid. Talk to your boy. I do not trust you, sir. You're paranoid. He's acting weird. I'm not. Fred, I'm sorry, bro. I'm not paranoid. Oh, Jesus. Holy cock. Fuck you.
A disenchanted process server, Dale, becomes reluctant friends with his weed dealer, Saul, when they witness a murder at the hand of Saul's supplier. Of course, being the stoners that they are, they blow up their own spot by leaving a joint of the mega rare strain of cannabis, known as Pineapple Express, at the scene of the crime. There are some ninjas, Rosie Perez, Adeo Llanos, Craig Robinson, and Danny McBride, and you're salty the whole time that you will never get to puff anything that can be equated to God's vagina. What is your favorite movie from the list? Let us know below and don't forget to subscribe.